John. John.
Yes. Yes.
Did you hear the ad playing?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure you caught it. Oh, it's just I almost choked on my stew that I'm eating here. Yeah, you beautiful people that are listening right now. John, I don't know if you noticed, but right before we were starting, I was just eating my dinner. Still eating it.
I noticed very well.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Is it that obnoxious? I'm sorry.
Totally. No, I can live with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll don't worry. When I'm taking bites, I'll make sure to mute. But yeah, I'm letting you guys know you are cutting into my dinner time, but you know the show must go on. So if you hear me talking like this, while I'm just enjoying this homemade stew, please bear with me. But
That's normally how you talk, right?
is that how I sound to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No.
No, never, Max. Come on,
Never.
Come on. I mean, in that moment, he just remembered that half of the profits of this show go to him. So,
Right. You're doing a great job, Max. Great job. Oh wow.
If you ever need me a favor,
you hear those pearls dripping out of your mouth.
Do you need me to whack anybody for you? All right. No, I don't want to get you in more trouble. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 57 of the Differently Wired Show. It's amazing what how much the world can change in a week. We're going to talk about all that in just a second, but before we get into all the good stuff, I want to introduce my co-host, the man who thinks I sound like I don't know, what are the names of the hooded things from Star Wars that sell R2-D2 and C? What, Jawas?
Hooded things.
I think they're called Jawas. Yeah, he thinks I sound like a Jawa. His name is John Tucker. John, what's poppin'?
I'm really interested in letting people know about this great
Sound like a
conference
Jawa.
I went to in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, sorry. I just can you repeat that, John? Sorry.
I am very excited about letting people know about the great conference I just attended in Denver, Colorado.
Yes, and we are going to talk about that for a little bit, but before we do, I just want to let you guys know that if you take a look. Well, wait, hold on. No, I have to bring up the graphic for you guys. Just give me 1 second. We are going to be bringing back the Collins segment briefly today. Figured it'd be appropriate because we're all hunkered down in quarantine. We figured we'd just reach across the vast expanse of the internet to people across the world and bring people together, kind of like Death Stranding in a way. See, that game takes on such a greater meaning now that we're all locked in our houses. John doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Not at all. I thought you were talking about your habit of quilting or sewing or something. Just stranding, weaving.
Yes,
baskets? I don't know.
I weave death into everything that I quilt, into everything that I sew, because all I know is pain. Sorry, there's a fly that flew in front of my face.
That would make a good show, watching you weaving death into quilts. Have you ever heard of, what is it, the contrary to Netflix is Netflix. Is it Napflix? Netflix? Do you know that?
Netflix?
Netflix. What they do is they set up a camera in like on the front of a train.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch 24 hours of a train going across Siberia. Or people are in a great big factory and they're sewing or moving machine parts around. So you watch that for 14 hours. It's called Netflix. You watch it, put you to sleep.
Are you for real?
Fantastic. I am for real.
Oh my God.
Just check it out. Netflix. N-A-F. We are designed to bore you to tears. It's really strange.
Man, if I knew that there was a market for that, I would have. I wouldn't be doing this. No,
Netflix. Seriously, you should look at it. Watching soldiers march around Red Square all day long.
Is there a channel for watching paint dry? I'd be all for that.
They have paint dry.
Oh,
paint dry is one of their shows.
Okay, I don't want to believe that you're telling me the truth. Okay.
Just flick on Google one day.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, back to the subject at hand. To the people that signed up in the Discord, I mean, like, you guys could probably try putting your name in to the DW Collins sign up, which is the sixth text chat that you'll see in my Discord server. I'm not sure we'll be able to get to you, but because we already do have a whole bunch of people that signed up. I'm going to be sending each of you individually the link to this call that John and I are doing right now so they can come on the show and talk to us. And I will be doing that while John talks about his experience at the LSD conference. But before, yeah, so I'm just, but just before, I'm just letting you know that
how did you know that?
you told me. It might have been one of the nights that you were there, and you were having one of your freakouts. You're like, Max, I could see the air. It's amazing. All right, but yeah, I'm just Bobby Brown, Too Fun Guy for you, Ancient Nick. I'm going to be sending you the links individually, so just look at your DMs, and we will bring you in here. Okay. So while I'm doing that, John, do you want to tell us about all the mushrooms you ate?
Okay, I'll tell you about Denver. So what I've got here is not far from peyote, but I didn't get that far. Anyway,
ain't getting one for me.
Nah. You can have some virtual stuff. Maybe watch one of your games and go crazy.
How could you? I trusted you. Okay, whatever.
Okay, what I have is the selected highlights from the conference and a little bit about it that I will go through my notes and talk about. And because we don't have time to talk about a whole 4-day conference right now, Max can stop me anytime when he's ready to move on the Taking Your Call segment of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And if people in the audience want me to continue, well, next week we'll do another few items on the agenda until we're satisfied. So there is no rush. There's no hurry.
Mm-hmm.
We can take exactly the amount of time, Max, you figure is good to allow your call-in people stuff. Okay. So I went to Denver on Thursday, early in the morning, and hopped on 2 planes to get there. Not at the same time, one after the other. And we arrived in time to check into the hotel and go to the meet and greet and the exhibition setup. And it was wonderful because the show is about eating a lot of protein instead of a lot of carbohydrates. That's the whole conference, the whole show. And I was pleased and impressed to see that all the food choices they had at the display were integral with that message. Everything was like bacon wrapped sea scallops, grilled chicken, no breads, no cookies, no donuts, no pastries, none of that crap. So the stuff there that was there to eat was organic, grass-fed, grass-finished, good stuff. Also, the conference organized the exhibitor setup, and it was integrated into space so people could wander in and see what various researchers were doing. That was well done. Another excellent point about this conference was that the coffee and tea were there when you arrived, and they were there continuously. All through the conference, you could get up, go get a tea, coffee, whatever, or something. So that was a nice thing, a good start to the conference. Anybody who's planning a conference, some of those things are real important. Respectful of your exhibitors, give them time to work, and make sure the coffee pot's on. Real important. My first session was 7:30 that evening. No, sorry, 7:30 the next morning. Dr. Jeffrey Gerber, who's known as Denver's diet doctor, made some points overall about the nature of this kind of eating. And I should point out that none of this stuff is my advice to anyone. I am a news reporter talking about a conference I went to. I will not advise anyone about diet or health or anything, but I will report to you as honestly as I can what I heard.
Yeah.
So you can decide for yourself if it's of interest.
Yeah, just make up your own mind.
You can make up your own mind. This is not my advice to you because I'm a professional coach, and it's not my business to tell people what pills to take or not, or what diet to have or not. That's really important. So my medical friends don't get insulted. I'm jumping into their space. All right. This is Dr. Jeffrey Gerber's notes. Insulin resistance goes up years before glucose levels rise. So metabolic syndrome, which leads to most chronic diseases, is missed. Interesting point. Interesting point. In other words, he is saying they have early indication of a problem that will develop, but it's not being addressed. being missed. That boils down to, he goes on to say further, that what happens is your family doc notices triglycerides, notices stuff's going wrong, but it's not a big enough problem yet to worry about. So you're developing your diabetes decades before, and you could stop it decades before. That's his point. Another point he makes is the idea of controlling LDL, that bad cholesterol levels, misses the point. LDL is an indication, not a cause. So I had to struggle to understand LDL. Everybody wants to control LDL. They want to use statin medication to control this cholesterol level. So as they were talking, and several people made this point during the conference, I had to come up with a metaphor of what they were saying and how it meant. So low cholesterol is like going into a room which is dangerously hot and holding an ice cube up to a thermometer. Okay? You control LDL, but you ain't addressing the problem that's showing up as a high cholesterol, whatever, or blood pressure. So his point is that you need to address those things with changes in your lifestyle and diet, as opposed to getting medications to deal with the symptoms of the problem. Okay, this is all what he said. The next speaker was, and by the way, Max, you can stop me whenever you need to make the time work. Dr. Ali Nadir is an interventional cardiologist who weighs about 130 pounds. Very slender guy. A lot of the speakers were incredibly slender because their diet leads to slenderness.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. His direct comment, this is directly from his words, statins promote vascular deficiency, calcification by reducing vitamin K2. Don't ask me to explain it, but I thought it was very interesting that a medication would create a problem in that way. Another quote. Please, all you, internet police that are watching, understand this is a quote from Dr. Ali Nadir. 90% of statin studies are sponsored by the pharma industry.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Interesting. He goes on to say, now you understand that he is a specialist, MD, an interventional cardiologist who has studied this stuff and worked on it for 25 years. Another quote from him. Physicians have abdicated their responsibility with regard to diet and health.
Yeah.
And he is a physician aiming at his colleagues who he believes are missing crucial information about how people's health is managed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next speaker I heard is Brian Saunders, who is a filmmaker. His section, his speech was entitled Cows Can Save the World. He wrote a film, directed, developed, put together a film called Food Lies, Lies, Food Lies.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it, but I'd like to.
It's a sequel to True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, well, that would fit for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I guess. Getting more buff than he already is, if you thought that was impossible.
The thing he talked about, which stood out for me, was a thing called rotational grazing section by section. So he had maps and charts to show how you can run a farm where your livestock eat fresh grass down a little and then move on to the next, eating it down a little. They don't overgraze like the goats on Cyprus. They are moved around in such a way that it's like rotating crops, actually. Their crop is rotated on their behalf by moving them from field to field to field. Now, I've seen shows where that's been done with chickens as well. Some guy invented this like chicken movable box. So the chickens gaze, eat the stuff, and before it's all gone and turned to mud, the box is moved and the chickens are encouraged to move along to this new territory. So it's a kind of a mindful farming. Interesting. I thought it was interesting and helpful to the earth to do it that way. Next, I heard Dr. Robert Lustig, who is a neuroendocrinologist. He talks about
John. Just make this the last thing because I'm about to bring on somebody?
Well, I can stop now and
No, no,
start
no.
with Dr. Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Dr. Robert Lustig is a neuroendocrinologist who works in the regulation of energy balance of the central nervous system. He is a well-recognized leader in the anti-sugar movement globally. A couple of his book titles stood out to me. One is Fat Chance, and the next one, which is a longer title than this, but the first part grabbed my attention, The Hacking of the American Mind. Now, he is a very bright man whose talk was aimed at physicians, so I understood almost nothing that he said because he was talking about cellular interactions and stuff that physicians would know. I didn't. However, he did say a couple of things that I did understand and stood out for me. One is corn-fed beef delivers sugar.
Yeah.
So if you eat beef that's eating corn, you're eating corn. If you're eating corn, you're eating sugar. So he recommends that your beef must be 100% grass finished. So the animals you feed don't feed on corn. Okay, so that's it for that part of the segment. Do you want to
Uh,
go on with the next segment?
yeah. That's really interesting. I guess it sort of makes sense when you think about it, how the animals that you eat things themselves, and those
Yep.
that the properties of that meat get passed on into their own bodies. So,
Yep.
jeez.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe I should, because I'm trying to get a hold on the pain in my legs, trying to see if it's at all dietary related. So,
Well, I can't give advice about that, but
right. Yeah,
because it's not my scope of practice. But
yeah,
I certainly was impressed by the energy and the seriously detailed explanations. And when we do this again, I will go through what they are saying about research these days and how it works.
hmm
So, if people are interested, we will keep on with this in the next show or whenever there's time.
yeah, guys. Please let us know, because John actually, like, just before the show, he was telling me a lot of interesting stuff about this conference. If you are at all interested in the way that the types of food that you eat might influence, your daily life, if you have a strong suspicion that certain things that are going wrong in your life might be related to a poor diet or something like that, please leave us a comment in the comment section below so that we can continue this discussion per your request. Now,
Max, I just got to say something that occurred to me.
mhm.
I don't want to spend all day talking to people about diet-related questions, but I would be happy to answer emails because they're asynchronous and I can take my own time. If somebody has a long, complicated question that's diet-related, they can ask me and I'll direct them to the resources that I think
Yeah,
answer their question. So anybody who's interested, who thinks there's a diet-related something issue, they can certainly ask me where to find stuff that helps them with that.
absolutely.
So
Okay.
that's an email.
So, do you want to just tell people what your email is?
John Tucker, PhD at gmail.com.
Okay, all one word?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we got somebody I think is ready to come on. I don't see that their microphone is selected. Bobby, are you there? Because I see that your webcam is on, but it doesn't see, like, your microphone doesn't seem to be linked up. If you're having trouble figuring out how to do that, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see what the mute button, and right beside it, you see like 2/3 of a triangle. If you click on that, you'll go to, like, you'll have a whole bunch of options. It says select microphone. Just select the microphone you're using, and we should be able to hear you. Okay.
He may be using a wrong microphone, is right. In the chat room, he says he can't hear anything.
Oh, is he actually in?
Chat room.
Oh, he's in the chat room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
on Zoom.
Oh, on Zoom. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why can't he hear anything? Well, okay. You might have to do, like, you have to set your speakers as well. Well, yeah. I guess I should probably message him on the Discord server.
I guess in the meantime, you can call somebody else in, and when Bobby's oh, I see Bobby.
Yeah, I see Bobby too.
And Bobby's gone.
And Bobby's gone. Hopefully not permanently. John, do you just sort of maybe want to just keep talking about like something else that you heard at the conference while I try to get a couple
Sure.
people in? Because it seems like people are
Okay,
having a bit of
okay.
trouble.
No problem. I'll talk about the next speaker that caught my attention. This is a very interesting, wonderful man, Dr. David Harper, PhD, who is a professor at the University of Fraser Valley in British Columbia, Canada. He's a professor of kinesiology, and he did a bachelor's degree in science and a PhD from the University of British Columbia in fluid dynamics, biofluid dynamics. In other words, the fluids in your body and the way they interact and the effect of them and how things are taken up. Very interesting man, clever, kind, and thoughtful. His book is called Bio Diet, the scientifically proven ketogenic way to lose weight and improve your health. So he's written a book, about the ketogenic diet. I should point out that in the conference, there were a lot of people who follow a ketogenic diet. There were some people who were carnivore. There were some people who were low carb of different kinds. So the thing that joined all the conference goers together was their disdain for sugar, getting that out of your diet, getting starch and potato and that kind of stuff, getting that out of your diet. And that, by the way, raw vegan people would agree with. So it doesn't matter if you eat a lot of plants or a lot of cows. Eating a lot of sugar is a problem for everybody, according to these people. I don't give diet advice. He said there's no good science connecting fat to heart disease. No good science connecting fat to heart disease, which we kind of are getting to know now. He also said, I found this powerful, cancer has a glucose addiction.
Oh, really?
A high carb diet feeds cancer cells. This is what Dr. Harper says. Cancer has a glucose addiction. You want to, increase your cancer, go ahead and eat a pile of sugar. You'll be feeding it. That's what he says. He also said something else that was powerful about the nutrition guidelines in the world, except interestingly enough for Brazil. I'll get to that later. He said, science needs to be implemented in nutrition guidelines. Wow. Science needs to be implemented. I thought they did that. He says, no, they don't. That's not how guidelines are written, not with good science.
Hmm. Sorry, John. I'm doing my best to try and pay attention to what you're saying and trying to bring people in, but it seems like for whatever reason, people are just having trouble. Um, Diamond Clone is saying, try to go into a general voice call, then Max, you can move them. Yeah, but see, the problem is John doesn't know how to use Discord very well.
Not
So,
at all.
yeah, so I'm just having a bit of trouble trying to bring people in. Uh, okay, Bobby Brown is saying, can't be, I'm on my phone. Come on in. I'd love for you to come on in and join us.
There is a workaround for people. If they send me their email, I can invite them by email if they want.
Yeah, that
Invite
works
them
too.
from here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I get any emails in the next little while to johntuckerphd@gmail.com, I will simply invite them right away, and they will come on the screen.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, guys, if any of you are listening that are in the Discord server and want to come on the show with John and I, it seems like people are having a bit of trouble. It really shouldn't be that difficult. All you have to do is click on the link that I sent to you in your direct messages. If you click on it, then you'll join the room. And then, if you have trouble trying to select your microphone or anything like that, we'll help you when you come on the show. And the people who are listening tend to be quite understanding in that regard. So if any of you, there, I think we got
here
somebody.
comes Matt.
Hey, Matt. Matt, you might need to select your microphone in the bottom left-hand corner of the Zoom window. You should be able to see a mute. Yep, there you go. Are you there? Matt? Maybe you need to unmute yourself? Because I see that you have a microphone selected, but I don't hear you. And he's gone. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Horace, I see you coming into the DW call and sign up thing. Can I send you a message? See if you can come on here, save us from ourselves. That'd be good. Nova Knight said he just joined for a second.
How many people have indicated a desire to join the show to call in to talk?
Like somewhere around 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you invited them all, or are you inviting them in sequence?
Well, I like when one person didn't when one person didn't come on, I just sent out the message to somebody else. But
why don't you send the message to everybody, and then whoever shows up,
I did.
We'll get them. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And here's the thing: if I posted it in the main chat on Discord, where thousands of people could see it, then everybody we'd have 1 million people trying to come in here at the same time. Aren't I just so good at math?
I see in our regular chat a lot of people are having trouble with Discord, but this doesn't require Discord, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Or you've sent it out in Discord.
No, like I sent it out in Discord, but people should be able to just click on the link and then come into Zoom.
Yeah.
Kavlad, here, Kavlad, do you want to come on here? I'll send you a message. So you just come in and talk with us. If worse comes to worse and we can't get anything sorted in the next couple of minutes, guys, what we could just do is, look at what you guys are saying in the chat, or John and I could talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the world right now. We do have about 20 minutes left. Jeez.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I think what we ought to do is continue this effort, but Max, you can test their connections with various individuals, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? If somebody is interested in coming on the show, send them a Zoom invitation and see that their mics are working and their stuff is working and that they know how to get on if they're invited to get on.
Right. Okay.
So everybody who wants to appear on the show absolutely can do so, but it might take us another session to get it in.
Yeah, and we'll probably have to just try Discord again, even if it does make you sound a little bit robotic at times. To the people who are wondering what Zoom is, it's sort of like Skype, but it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So, all you have to do is just click on the link that I provide you, and you should be able to just come into the room, and should be no problem. Just as long as when you get here, you select the microphone that you want to use. It's looking like we might be able to bring Athena in here in just a moment, which should be good.
Is that the person who did your artwork?
No, that's Aliza.
Oh,
yeah,
Aliza. I got a good memory for A's.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, if we can't get somebody on here in the next couple minutes or so, we'll just go to the chat. Just in case, I'm just gonna let you guys. I'm gonna remind you guys that are watching the live show and are in the live chat. The main topic is overcoming barriers. What John sort of suggested to me yesterday when we were trying to think of a topic is, what you guys have come up with. Oh, it looks like we got somebody. But just before I ask if they're there, I'm just going to finish what I was just saying. If you guys can tell us maybe of a situation in your life where you've had to deal with something quite difficult, you've had an obstacle in your way, please tell us what you did to overcome it, so that maybe somebody that's listening that might be going through something similar can take your advice and apply it to their own life. So that's what we like to see you put in the chat. And if we can get people into the live thing here, then hopefully things should work out okay. Athena, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, hallelujah. Praise Jeebus. Okay. Athena, yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You're saving our lives right
now. Unless you're all figments of my imagination.
A bit of that too, but.
Oh, and by the way, speaking of that, Athena, you want to buy me thousands of dollars worth of pants.
What?
And you also want to give your friend Max a foot massage every day.
That's mean, Max, figment of your imagination talking.
Yeah, no offense, but you're terrible at manipulation. I'm just saying.
Really? I think I usually tend to think I'm quite good at it, but anyways, let's not talk about that.
You suck at that.
I mean, your voice is soothing. Yeah, I'll give you that. But oh, never mind. Let's just go on.
All right, so Athena, thanks for joining. I'm gonna try and see if there are other people that can actually get in here. So we're gonna try to keep the conversations to about 5 minutes, so that way we can give other people time if they can get in here. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. I just it's usually you were gonna have like a call in, and I figured I'd come on and talk to John. It's always fun to hear John talk, and
Sure.
you
Thank you.
also.
Oh, so
You know,
did you have something in particular you wanted to ask John?
you have a visitor.
Yeah, no,
Willing.
That's okay. It's your time, Athena.
Oh, right. No, not really. I guess I just wanted to say hi. I guess I'll leave.
oh, come on, man. Like before you go, just is there can you think of any time in your life where you've had to deal with something quite difficult and you were able to overcome it?
I mean, I'm still trying to overcome my family and infantilization. They put me through.
Hmm.
That's a
You, that
that.
is,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I can be interrupted anytime, but I got to jump in because I've been talking about that today to 2 or 3 different clients. The astonishing thing about this is that when you're a tiny, 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 wee newborn baby, you have to have a lot of stuff done for you. You need a lot of support. As you get older, you need less support, but your parents have trouble letting go of you're the baby. So if you're differently
Uh,
wired in some way, that makes it way worse
oh,
because they're
John, I
saying,
can definitely agree with you. Like, but for me,
"Oh,
I was
okay,
born legally. I was born legally blind,
okay,
visually impaired. I could see, but people get confused with the whole. Never mind. I was born visually impaired and
hmm
albino. Okay, I hit the genetic lottery and was born albino with with albinism. Like, okay,
okay,
that, yeah, that due 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 to being born albino, that put strain. I guess, for lack of a better word, I put strain on on the family, in the sense where, okay, because I'm disabled, they think, oh, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
He needs to be coddled to a point, but then,
mm,
but then the coddling, breeds resentment, because it's like, okay, he's a burden to us, but but we're not going to let him, we're not going, to let him become his own man, become his own man and an adult, because, because he's legally blind, and, there used to be this belief that albinism was connected to mental retardation. And so it's like, okay, on the one hand, you want to coddle me and control my life and make sure, make sure I don't cross the street so I don't get hit by a car. On the other hand, you resent me because I still live at home with you, and I'm quote unquote not an adult and I can't do certain things. Will you please
hmm
make up your fucking mind? By the way, sorry for cursing. It's just one of
mm,
those things.
hmm
Okay, I'm done.
Good. Thank you for a very clear and honest presentation,
It's okay. The show's
Athena.
still PG-13. You're allowed one F-bomb.
Okay,
No,
I have. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, John. I don't want to. Go
no
ahead.
problem. I would like to respond to what you've
Go ahead.
told us all
Yes.
very bravely. Um, I want to suggest that you identify for me someone in your life, preferably in your family, but not necessarily, who is the closest to understanding your situation and has some empathy for your situation.
Okay, I
Who's
know two
somebody?
of them. I know two of them. Although, I'll be honest with you, sometimes it feels like they, they kind of do, but at the same time, I feel like they're being condescending about it. Maybe, maybe
Okay.
that's just something. No, so not condescending, dismissive.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they
Okay.
understand
Okay.
it, but it feels like they're being dismissive. You know what I
Right.
mean? My
That's
two
that's a
cousins.
that is a subtle, interesting problem. So now, thinking of the two of them, which one of them is more likely to be less dismissive?
Hmm. I'm guessing the airline pilot.
Okay.
I mean, they're both brothers. Believe it
Okay.
or
No, no,
not.
that's fine. The airline pilot. I really like airline pilots. They're so bright and they can think fast. I really like so that might be a really good choice. Okay, that's your ally, Athena. That's your ally. I would suggest you bring that person into this conversation in ways that you may not have done before. So you say, I don't know, I'm not going to tell you what to say. I'm going to say, look for an opportunity to have a conversation.
I should really give him a call. I haven't talked to him in months. Now I feel
Ah,
bad. Thanks, John.
no, 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 don't worry about that. If he's the kind of person you think he is, he will welcome you calling him, he will appreciate you. And not only that, Athena, people like to be needed. People like to be valued. People like to feel like what they're doing is worthwhile and their opinion and effort is respected. So
I
if you
agree with
call
you.
him, if you call him and say, you know what, I'd like to chat about something that's bugging me, and you know what, you seem like a person who would be able to show some
Empathy.
insight,
Yeah.
empathy, right?
Yeah,
So I
he's also tried to to talk about with certain with my with like with my with my family, but it's like when it comes to me, they have a barrier that 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 they have a bias basically. You know what I mean?
actually, I let
They
me
only
let me
hear what
back
they
up a
want to
bit.
hear.
Let me back up a bit. You don't talk to him with a strategy in mind. You don't talk to him with a plan to get him to talk to your family. That's wrong
Yeah,
because that's
I've
jumping
made that
the.
mistakes many times. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's a mistake. What you do is you talk to him about brainstorming.
Hmm.
Can we brainstorm? Make suggestions. It's easy to do in a conversation of 10 minutes. He can say, well, let's think about this, let's think about that. He may not do anything except give you a suggestion that works well,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I think that'd be a good way to go at
Are
that.
we, am I taking too much time, Max? 'Cause if
Um,
so,
it's
like, I
okay.
don't mean to.
Athena, no, I understand. It's all good, dude. I just want to let you know, yeah, we do have to move on, but just like take what John said, see what you can do, and remember, if things don't work out, sometimes they don't work out the way that we
Yeah.
intend. Just feel free to message me, and we can talk about this a little bit more later, whether it's in private DMs or on the show. Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, uh, John.
Thanks for coming on
I
board,
can't speak
Athena.
well.
You're a great guest.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming,
Thank you.
and we'll
You know,
talk in the after show. Okay. All
yep. All right. See you, John.
right. Peace
Bye,
out,
Bye.
brother.
Max.
All right.
Uh,
We also have Matt that
Hey,
just
can you guys
joined.
hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for having me on.
No problem, dude. Thanks for coming on. You're one of
Absolutely.
the two that managed to make Zoom work for yourself so far.
Yeah, I caused a bit of ruckus the first time when I was trying to go through settings or whatever. So sorry about that, but
Oh,
I'm here now.
we didn't hear anything, so it's all good.
Oh, well, it's actually kind of fitting. The subject of, I believe you said, overcoming barriers or something to the effect. That it's kind of fitting that you said that because this, for me specifically, I know is something that is really anxiety provoking. Talking to someone on a live stream. Someone that I've watched your videos for a long time, ever since you made those edits for Shoe on Head, those really funny ones.
Oh,
I
jeez.
love those, dude.
Thanks, man.
Oh my god. But really, I think there's quite a lot to be said about overcoming barriers, especially when it comes to anxiety. And I'm someone that's differently wired. I always kind of knew, but I found out recently. November, I got testing done, and it's really shown me how much I can overcome, and anybody can overcome. And I think if anything, that's one of the main things that life is about to me. And recently, I've really been shown, you know, how much character development that can bring out in yourself, and I just think that's really interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, John. Before you just say anything, yeah, Tio, just make sure your mic is muted. Go ahead, John.
Okie dokie. Matt, I'll make a comment. I noticed you mentioned anxiety and overcoming.
Mm.
We did a show not long ago called Befriending or Making Friends with Anxiety. And
Yeah.
it was an odd, weird title. But what I was trying to do in that is to, instead of vilifying anxiety and saying it's a bad thing, run away from anxiety, anxiety will actually follow you everywhere. You know,
Oh, I know that.
you know, you can try to run away from anxiety and maybe you can drown the effect of it in a pile of drugs and booze or something, but it's there waiting for you when you wake up, right? It's right there.
Exactly.
It's there.
Mhm.
It's there. It's like in your skin. So you might as well say, okay, anxiety, what are you telling me? What's the
Mhm.
message you're telling me? I have to make a speech in front of 5,000 people and play my guitar and the piano and dance, you know, on chopsticks or something. And oh, this is nervous. This is strange. This is difficult to do. Your anxiety is telling you you better get prepared. Okay? It's you can treat your anxiety as a mechanical indicator of a problem instead of something that lives and stays inside the amygdala or inside the lower brain where emotions run rapid. So you lift it out of that section of your brain and put it in the thinking part, the reasoning part of your brain, and say, okay, let me examine this anxiety. Where's it coming from? What's it about? How can I learn from the anxiety? So in other words, you take your attention away from getting rid of anxiety and toward problem solving.
Definitely.
That's the
I couldn't
suggestion.
agree more because,
That
looking at it as, I've had anxiety for about 6 years now. I'm 20, so about since 14, really bad. So it's something that, at first I was thinking, I got to get rid of this. I got to get prescribed pills or whatever. And
mm,
really, when I realized that that wasn't working for me, that strategy just wasn't working to kind of try to suppress it in any way I could.
mm.
This is a more recent endeavor, actually, but I've been seeing the utility of it, like you said, and
Good.
actually seeing that there really is no good and bad, objectively to it. It's really just a question of what are you going to do with it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's
exactly.
right. Exactly. So for any time the anxiety starts up again, you just go straight to what's this telling me? What's it doing? What's the utility here? You know. So if you're on the road to doing that, you will find anxiety will follow you around in your backpack somewhere, but you might forget it sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think that really, attests to the human spirit, really,
Mm,
because obviously you can see the worst of humanity, but I think one beautiful thing is our resilience when it comes to, like, even with this virus, horrible thing, really, things that are going on, but I've seen beautiful things come out of it. I'm spending more time with family because we're supposed to stay
hmm
inside, and having
hmm
some really good times and with them. And my mom is, helping neighbors that are self quarantining, bringing them groceries. And I really think that if you can stop catastrophizing, well, that's something I do a lot. Catastrophize things
Mm.
as worse as they can be.
hmm
But really, when you look at it more, you can turn just about any. Well, obviously, there's things you can't turn into a good situation, but I think that really whole doom and gloom mindset is something that isn't always useful, and I think
It's
we
a
as a
waste of
society,
time.
exactly.
It's a waste of time
Mhm.
Mm.
and a waste of spirit. So the way you're looking at the catastrophe is okay. This is what it is. What am I going to do? What can I do useful? And your mom helping people with the neighbors, that's perfect. That's
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
perfect thing to do. That's exactly the right thing to do.
it's kind of
I
like
sound like Donald Trump.
you know,
Ugh.
it's
I
it's
just need to turn off
huge.
the TV with everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. That's the main strategy is to get out of the media. But the media, by the way, are loving this stuff. It's like CNN is everywhere.
yeah.
It's like,
Flaming the
ugh.
fire.
They finally
Oh,
found a
absolutely.
greater enemy than Donald Trump to cover
Mm,
all the
mm.
time,
So
every day.
if it bothers you at all, then turn off the volume, turn off the game, get out of that world, and check in once in a while to see if your house is burning, but otherwise, get out of it.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Max, we only got about 5 minutes left for your next guest.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. I got to say my piece, and I really appreciate you. I've been watching the show for a while.
Hey, man, we appreciate
Great.
you. Thanks for coming on, dog.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Matt.
All right.
Yeah. See you
peace
guys
out.
later.
All right. And finally, our final guest today is going to be Tio. Tio, feel free to unmute. You there, dog?
Hey, what's up? I guess I can be heard?
Yep.
We hear you.
Okay, I mean by the microphone, because I have two computers and one of them was bought like 2 weeks ago and the microphone just doesn't work.
Oh.
You're coming through loud and clear.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm not going through the same situations that both people you had before.
Mhm.
So I don't need that much time. In fact, if anyone wants a bit more of time with talking with you, that's good for me.
No, this is great.
Okay, so I have an invisible barrier that I feel that I have. And here's the thing, I'm about to graduate. It's
Cool.
been 7 years of college life, and I'm about to graduate. And I feel like I've been always be this dumb guy who needs help for everything. Like, oh my god, you cannot walk on the street alone. Oh my god, you get lost easily. Oh my god, you cannot even chop a vegetable, even though I can, right?
Hmm.
I have a very, very low self-esteem, and well, that's the main barrier that keeps me from doing many stuff, like going to big events. Like some friends of me tell me, "Hey, you wanna go to this event?" And I feel like I don't deserve that. Well, I just wanted to share that feel.
Can I comment on that,
Yeah,
Theo?
yeah.
Let us take the conversation we just had about anxiety and
Okay.
pretend anxiety and low self-esteem are cousins or brothers. And maybe they're twin brothers. What if low self-esteem was telling you something that you could get a message from, that it would guide your behavior in a different way? Let's say, for instance, you would like to go to this dance, but you don't feel like going to the dance because you have low self-esteem. The girls won't dance with you, or whatever, won't dance with you, and you'll be embarrassed and go home all full of shame. Okay, that's a possible situation. So you say, oh, objectively, this low self-esteem is telling me, I'm nervous of this. Okay, so you unpack it and figure out, well, I don't have a pair of shoes, or I don't have good clothes, or I don't have a friend to go with, or whatever.
Do not live
Like
there with the clothes.
What's
I
that?
continue.
Okay. Another thing that happens in that kind of situation is people look for resources through the anxiety. Okay, I'm a bit nervous of this situation, so I'll go with my buddy, or I'll go with my sister, I'll go with my cousin. They're very confident, so they'll help me get through that. So that's just, I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying you're treating low self-esteem like it's anxiety. It's telling you something. So then mechanically and objectively, you look at what it is telling you or warning you about that you can work around. You see what I'm trying to say here? Because anxiety and low self-esteem is a feeling. Low self-esteem is not logical. You didn't come into this world saying, oh, how can I come into this world with low self-esteem? No. You picked this up somewhere. It
Oh yeah, that's
developed
the
somewhere.
thing also. So low self-esteem is not genetic.
That's right. So it can be something that you analyze or look at or consider in an objective way.
Well, I'm not gonna victimize myself,
Hmm.
but I
Oh.
know that I grew up during the economic crisis. In fact, maybe I'm the same age as you, Max. I was a teenager back in the 2008 crisis,
Yep.
so I felt like a burden. And my family was very nice with me. They never told me that, but still, I felt like a burden. Our family was struggling a lot. The fact that I didn't bring any money, everyone was working except me and my brother. I felt like I'm a burden economically. I have to be carried everywhere and so on. And that addition that I have ADHD. Well, I'm not diagnosed of ADHD, but I have very very low attention span. So I needed a private tutor. So imagine hiring a private tutor during crisis. the low self-esteem was high, and I guess that's a big factor on why I have low self-esteem maybe for forever. I don't know. And well, right now, as I said, I'm about to graduate, but still, I don't have a job. I had a few part-time jobs to buy some funny stuff for myself, like a video game or like a trip to somewhere. But still, I feel like a burden, and I wish I could
Okay,
be.
I have to stop you there because I have to head off.
Oh,
The
sorry.
details around your life story um, would probably fill a book.
Yeah.
We can't do that. I'm talking about a general approach to you looking at your story yourself and taking it instead of how you felt. Look at it from as though you were another person from the outside in. Because
Okay.
if you want to feel bad about stuff, you can do that easy as pie. If you want low self-esteem, it's the easiest thing. You can turn on low self-esteem and stay there forever if you want. You got to step out of that. You got to step sideways from that and look at the reality of it from outside your feelings. It's kind of that could help you get through this period, so you can look at the self-esteem as an indicator, not as the disease. And I have to go now, Max.
Okay, no problem, John. I'll finish things off.
Thanks very much,
and
Tucker. By the
You're
way.
welcome. See you later, Tio.
All
Bye.
right, peace out, John. And
Mm.
Tio, before you go, I just want to also say, you said you're graduating. That's a magnificent achievement. You got to give yourself credit for that, even if you do feel low self-esteem. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, nice. Like, thank you. I was just saying thank you.
Oh,
Continue.
Yeah, but I'm sort of in the same boat as you are. Sometimes I have a hard time giving myself credit. But you, like John said, you got to step back at yourself and look at yourself as if you're a different person. I thankfully have been somewhat successfully doing that. I've been able to, sometimes I come off as like I try to pretend like I have a big ego, like, oh, I'm so awesome, all that. Like some of the jokes I do on the show from time to time. But honestly, I do have a hard time giving myself credit. But when I hit 100,000 subscribers for the channel, I had to take a step back and say, you know what? I did a lot of work to get here. That's a great achievement. That's something that very few people in the world have done. And I'm just trying to be objective about it. And let's be frank, even though I'm, the way that I'm sort of saying it comes across as arrogant, I don't really have a lot of those moments come across every day. And for you, graduating from college, that doesn't happen very often in somebody's life. Same thing with like graduating high school, I don't know, having your first kiss, something like that. It's something that you got to look at objectively and just say, look, I got to embrace this embrace the moment and all the beautiful things that come from it. You got to let yourself do that. And I implore you to do that right now for, graduating from school, because that must have been tough.
Indeed, I actually think the truth. I just think that I think the day I become independent economically, maybe I will feel extremely better, because that's the only thing that keeps me away from feeling independent or strong.
Oh, dude.
It's being dependent on people, and that's it. Maybe if I'm making this long, I'm very sorry.
No, Tio, it's great. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for saying that. I'm right there with you too. Like I don't know how long you've been following my channel, but some people will be well aware that I've also had trouble trying to find.
I followed you since the first series of Asperger's.
Oh, sorry. I must have been trying to organize some things off screen while you were saying that.
No, you told me. I don't know how long you follow me, so I followed you from very long time, but I didn't engage with you never. So I feel kind of very good right now.
Okay.
And very lucky as well.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
And very lucky. Yes, pardon my accent. I'm from Spain.
Oh, okay. Well, I thank you so much for watching for that long. And yeah, as you probably know, I've had trouble with employment, and I still have trouble with employment. But, one thing that's going to help you try to gain the employment that you seek is by giving yourself credit from time to time and not letting yourself get too down in the dumps. I'm doing that with my channel, my subscriber celebration right now. And you should do that right now somehow with the fact that you're graduating from college, really. Okay. I got to close out the show in just a second. But Tio, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad.
Thanks a lot for you, Max. And big salute to all the Aspergers there around the world. The 57 people now watching.
Hey, and thank you all the people, those 57 people that are watching live right now.
Oh, in fact, you're gonna like it.
Sorry?
There you go. Now you have 41 likes. I forgot to like it.
You the man. Thank you so much, dude. It really does help me out a lot when people like the stream. Yeah, guys, if you haven't, like, I see 56 people watching right now and 42 likes. Let's see if we can try to reverse that, ratio it the other way. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank you so much, Theo, for coming on. I'm just going to close out the show, letting you guys know that we do, in fact, have an after show. That's available to the people that are supporting me on Subscribestar. So basically, what the after show is let's see if I can bring the graphic up here for a second. Yeah, sorry for some of the messy graphics on screen right now, guys. What the after show is for an hour after the main Differently Wired show. I just get to hang out with you guys, the people that are supporting me on Subscribestar, and the people. If you want to be a part of the after show, all you have to do is go over to my Subscribestar account. There is a link to it in the description box below. And in order to get access to the after show, all you have to do is support me at the $2 tier a month. That's just $2 a month, and you get access to the after show, to movie night, and to the up-to-date audio version of the Differently Wired show. Yeah, if you have trouble finding the after show, just look for it in the text chats. If you scroll down in the Discord server, I'll make sure that I give you the Subscribestar supporter role, because then you'll be able to see it. And also, I just want to remind you guys that as a part of the aforementioned 100,000 subscriber achievement, I'm going to be doing another Q&A. So if you guys have any questions that you want to ask me, make sure... Ooh, somebody joined. I'll check to see who that was in a second. If any of you have any questions that you would like to ask me, make sure you go to the Q&A announcement video that I posted. There's a link to that in the description box as well. And ask me whatever your heart desires. And as long as it's respectful, I will answer it in an upcoming video. So that's it for today's episode of the Differently Wired show. Thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. Thank you so much to John, who isn't here now, but he knows I'm thankful. He's not thankful for my talents and what I do here. But see, I'm a bigger person. Yeah. Stay yellow, everybody.